Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Rob, aka PokeTCG Gamer here, covering today for James, and you can tell because there won't be as much cyberbullying today. But basically, I'm here filling in for James because he is unable to record for himself at the moment, and he wanted to show his eagerness for the most recent league opportunity he has been given in the NPL Minors. As some of you may know, the NPL Minors is having a little bit of an off-season tournament, which there was applications came out a while ago, but basically Trev cut down the applications to 32 and made it a little off-season tournament so that we can pick 12 players from the 32 to join the NPL Minors for the next season. First and foremost, James wants to thank Trev and Joel in particular for giving him this opportunity to prove himself in the NPL tournament and try out for the NPL Minors. I definitely want to give a shout out to Trev. He's the main person that runs the NPL Minors. I know how well he runs the league because I was in the NPL Minors last season, as I am this season. And Trev, he just does a great job at running the league, and can't thank him enough for doing such a good job at setting up this tournament as well. As you guys should know, the NPL Minors is the minors league of the majors, which has boasted many has boasted many top players from the likes of Gypsy King, Merc, PokeMD, and DANZA, and so many more amazing players in the majors. Although there is a countless number of great players in the league, James wants to thank all of those people who have offered him a good reference, well, as good as you can get for a cyberbully recommendation. In particular, he wants to thank Ironflashgaming, aka Anthony, for helping him grow as a player and always being there for him. The initial plan for James was to steal ZAZO's team versus SCHADY in the NPL versus PPL war and adding Rodriguez, but things did not turn out like that due to a few snipes that happened throughout the draft. The team he drafted is definitely a more balanced team, and even though it misses a few fundamental components, James hopes to prove the merit of the team. So first up for James, there was pretty much everything is allowed other than Ubers in this draft tournament, and one of the mons that was allowed is Greninja with its ability Battle Bond, and that was something James was looking at, but he could not overlook the sheer versatility of one of the mons that was available on the board, and that was Mew. Basically, he picked up Mew due to its insane coverage, and he was able to dedicate a Z move to Mew, or Mew has the option to bring a Z move every week. Mew has insane coverage, so it can pretty much bring any powerful Z move it wants, and it can be very effective that way. And obviously, as I said, Mew is one of the most versatile mons in the format, and it can be a stealth rocker, a defogger. It can be a setup sweeper with nasty pot, sword stance, bulk up, so many things, and it can just be an offensive lifeboard attacker even. But it was his first choice for a few reasons, but you'll see why it was his first choice when the first NPL tournament games come around. And the only nickname that he could choose for Mew is obviously SCHADY. So the second choice that James made is Tyranitar, and Tyranitar is easily one of the best stand setters in the game, with access to so many coverage moves, and in my opinion and his, obviously, it made it a great selection. The combination of Mew and Tyranitar, which are both mons who can practically do so many things offensively and still have good defensive sets to back that up, and he's going to be naming Tyranitar Seb. The third choice that he made was very tough because he got sniped on a couple of the things that he wanted for his sand team. Mega Garchomp and Excadrill were off the table, so he was looking at a few Pokemon. He was looking at Mega Pinsir, but he decided to build around this Pokemon for his balanced offensive team, and that Pokemon was Scizor. Now, Scizor is a great Pokemon. It can gain momentum with U-turn. It has priority and bullet punch. It has it can run Sword Stance with Roost. It has access to Defog, but mainly on in an offensive balanced team, you want mons that can gain momentum, and U-turn Mega Scizor does that while giving him a bulky pivot that's only weak to fire, which is very nice for James. The fourth choice that he made was one that he definitely grabbed a little bit too early. And that Pokemon was Cofagrigus. Even though he drafted in the 4th round, it still provides a nice pivot for the team. It's very nice. It has very nice speed def and defense, so it can provide him with a nice pivot. It can set T-Spikes for the team, which T-Spikes are very, very nice for a balanced team. And if you really want to, he has a Trick Room option with his current speed tiers. Is actually sort of viable so far. The fifth Pokemon that James drafted to sort of fit his core was Arcanine. Now, Arcanine is very nice, once again, on the balanced build that James is going for. Arcanine provides him with a great defensive wall, and most importantly, it gives him a fire type fire immunity. It does give him a resistance if he wants to run Intimidate, but Arcanine also has Flash Fire to be immune to fire moves. But basically, it has Intimidate, which is very nice as a physical wall, and it has access to things like Will-O-Wisp and stuff like that. And as an offensive fire type, it has things like Wild Charge to bulky waters and stuff like that. So now we're getting to the end of the draft, and in this 6th pick by James, he picked up Gyarados. And Gyarados, once again, it's one of those mons. This is kind of in the theme of his draft of the Cofagrigus. Gyarados is a mon where it can go offensive or defensive, as it has access to Intimidate to weaken physical attackers, and it also has access to Dragon Dance, which it can boost and sweep teams. But basically, Gyarados, it helped him a lot. As for defensive options, it has things like Thunder Wave and Toxic, but it also has the option has Taunt, which is pretty cool. Taunt, Dragon Dance is a very cool set, and with Intimidate, it gives Gyarados more options to set up, especially versus physical attackers. So for James' 7th pick, he was getting towards the end of the draft, and this is a mon that not many people fear in League format, or actually, when they see it, obviously they're gonna fear it, but it's not always drafted in League format. But James picked up in the 7th round Diggersby, which is it is feared in League format, and James is definitely going to try to punish people with that, as Bandit Diggersby, with all the coverage that it has, pretty much has no switches in the entire, out of like every Pokemon, it doesn't have a switch with a Bandit set. And if James really wanted to, he could run Spikes, maybe a Sash Spike set, and in addition to that, it is a Volt Switch Stopper, which is very nice, as James' team was getting a little vulnerable to Volt Turn teams. So for the 8th pick, this last Pokemon was inspired by Techno. It's a great Pokemon. He was in need of a bulky fighting type, and it also gives him a dragon typing, which he did not have yet. I'm pretty sure. I don't want to misspeak, but he ended up picking Como, which once again, this gives him a dragon fighting Pokemon. It does give him a 4 times weakness to Fairy, but he does have Scizor, which pairs very nice with that, as Como also resists the fire for the Mega Scizor. Como, it can run physical or special sets. As I said, it has access to Dragon Dance, and it's just another great mon as James finishes off his draft. So flaws with James' team: he drafted a pretty good balanced team with limited hazard options and setup. Obviously, he does have he does have a good amount of hazards. He actually has hazard, or he has options to every hazard move in the game. But the round 4 Cofagrigus pick was definitely an overextension, and the team is also rather slow and bulky, and is going to rely on catching opponents off guard and using setup sweepers like Gyarados and Como to gain speed and sweep late game. So I'll give my quick thoughts on the team. Obviously, the team definitely started off really well with Mega Scizor, Mew, and Tyranitar. Just those 3 together just form a very nice balanced core, as they're all really nice mons that can run defensive options and offensive options. But I don't really have many thoughts on the team. Obviously, I think it's very solid. Towards the end of the draft, he did go with like Gyarados, Diggersby, and Como, which obviously they're all very threatening physical attackers. I felt that he could have gotten a more threatening special attacker at some point during the draft, but he does have a pretty nice synergy for only 8 mons. Excuse me, and I feel that James will do very well in this off-season tournament, and hopefully he can join me in the NPL Minors so he can get his ass kicked.
Rock.
Wrong.
That is absolutely
wrong.
Proved over and over again.
Wrong.
He actually had.
But just kidding. Anyways, that's gonna be it. I just want to give a shout out to James for giving me the opportunity to fill in for him on his channel. Very glad to do it for him. One of my good friends that I've met throughout many leagues that I've been in. But that's gonna be it for the video. Definitely leave a comment down below, saying what you think of James's team, and how you think he could have improved or what he could have done differently with his draft. But that's gonna be it, guys.